Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular, mystery reading number 704. Before getting into this reading, chances are that most of the people watching this video are not subscribed, so if you are a recurring viewer, you enjoy my work and would like to help support the growth of my channel, feel free to do so by sticking around, hitting that subscribe button down below, and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. My current goal is 500 subscribers so I can have access to offering channel memberships, so if you do decide to subscribe and support me, thank you very much. And the last thing I want to say is if you are interested in a little bit of a free mystery reading or some free mystery messages, check the description box down below and make sure you read the whole thing, including the limit, so you know what you are fully getting yourself into. So it feels like there's a lot of emotion in this energy. I feel like emotionally someone is being called to let go of someone or something, or some sort of unhealthy attachment or unhealthy commitment. There's something on the inside that you need to release and let go and make room for better, so that way you can manifest that in your reality. You can manifest that change or those changes in your reality. Those changes first start from within. The next reading that I upload, number 705, might be significant because changes associated with the number 5. But for this reading, the number is 704. Let's start with the number 7. That's about wisdom, healing, growing, reflecting, maybe changing the way you think, changing how you feel, changing how you ultimately express yourself. Strong energy of change here, which makes a lot of sense with the 0, because 0 represents cycles. It represents beginnings and endings, and it could also represent something coming full circle. Something old needs to end so something new can begin, it feels like. The number 4 feels particularly significant as well because on my TV, you know, I have a PlayStation, and I think it says I have like 44 trophies, and I saw that number. I don't know, maybe there's something significant here about a medal for somebody. Whether it's like a reward medal or like gold, iron, you know. Maybe there's something significant here about money, how you manage your money. That makes a lot of sense with the number 4, because the number is about stability and having a stable and secure foundation to build off of. Someone here might need a more stable or secure foundation. Whether it's a new way of looking at things or a new way of living. Adding up these numbers, 7 plus 0 is still 7, plus 4 is 11. 11 is reminding me of justice energy, and I just heard ýeħ-ġustizzja, which these messages they've come out before. But hearing that injustice in Italian, I feel like your ancestors want you to make something right. Or maybe there's some sort of something that needs to be brought back to balance karmically. It could even be yourself. I don't know if you believe in good luck or good fortune, but I believe in good outcomes. Making better choices. And that's not to say you're to blame for everything that you have went through. Not at all, but it's always important to recognize the part that you do play. Yeah, it feels like there is confirmation here for that, because it's something I watched. 11, 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 is about balance. This number does feel particularly significant for somebody, because I've already felt that earlier before I started recording, that the number 2 was going to be significant, but I didn't realize it was going to come up in this reading, yeah, something needs to be brought back to balance emotionally and maybe even physically. It's time to find the closure with something and to embrace change, it feels like. Next, I'm going to move on to drawing out a card from the Magical Dogs Tarot to take a closer look at your current situation and how it might apply to the number 704. Wow. I have Temperance in reverse. I believe this has the number 14 on it. I'm pretty confident. Oh, I just dropped the card. 1 plus 4 is 5. Yeah, definitely confirmation there to embrace change. The Temperance card, like I said in the reading that I recorded before this one, there's cards in the tarot that I believe where the minor arcana tarot cards and the major arcana tarot cards, they have similar meanings. Certain cards have similar meanings together. Major arcanas are just, a stronger energy of whatever the minor arcana is, or vice versa. I don't know if that makes sense. But basically, one second. I believe the Temperance card to be a stronger version of the Two of Pentacles. And Two of Pentacles is about, balance and priorities. And there's the number 2 there. It just feels like there needs to be, maybe there's many situations here that are off balance, but the source comes from within. There's something off balance on the inside. It feels like there's too much darkness in the energy, too much destruction and chaos going on the inside, which I feel like that means there's a lot of frustration here. And it's important that you address that frustration. Temperance is also related to extremes in your life, and when it's in reverse, I feel like all extremes are unhealthy, right? In the right context, yeah. Yeah, for this reading, there is something extreme that is unhealthy. I know that for sure, but with how unhealthy it is, it's a reflection of how healthy, how much potential there is for it to be healthier. However much chaos there is, that's a potential of how much peace there could be. There's a lot of talk here about potential, and I feel like you're being called to embrace and recognize the potential, the light that life has to offer, to put it in the most vague way. And that could start with recognizing that light that already exists within yourself first. I feel like, as humans, we aren't meant to feel hopeless and lost and confused. I don't believe that. I do believe we are meant to live in more stability and harmony, and that really first starts with us creating that for ourselves and our own lives and contributing to the bigger picture. Yeah. With the Temperance being a major arcana, I feel like it's time for you to focus on the bigger picture, where these unhealthy extremes are ultimately going to lead you. Think 10 steps ahead. With the choices that you're making right now, do you think you'll be happy with where you're headed? If not, it's time to change direction. It's time to change course. I accidentally said chime. I know that's a banking thing. That's a weird way for it to come through, but that definitely doesn't have to resonate for everybody. If you look at the imagery on the Temperance card, it's very serene and peaceful and, you know, I want to say almost dreamlike in a way. But the more peaceful world that we all dream about, you know, low-key, it's not as impossible to create as it may seem. It just starts with our own inner world and our own bubble, our own lives. So holding yourself accountable and allowing yourself to grow, never feel like you're doing it for nothing, because it definitely contributes to a bigger picture, a greater purpose, a greater cause. You know, I always like to say that we have our own individual purposes, but we're also all contributing to a greater purpose, something altogether, something greater. You do matter. You are important, and you are worth it. You're worth the effort and the focus it's going to take to allow yourself to heal and to move forward in the way that you deserve. I'm being reminded of the reading that I recorded before with the Lovers card coming out, and so there could be a very important choice here, many important choices, where you just need to take your choices more seriously in general, because you're not only creating peace and stability for yourself, but you're also doing it for everybody else. Never trap yourself in the mindset that you are alone, because not only is it a lie, it is destructive, in my opinion, to your future and our future as a whole. And there's not meant to be any pressure here for whoever needed to hear that. Healing is always something that needs to be done in its own time, but in the right way. Part of the right way is being patient enough with yourself, but not too patient. Whenever the uncomfortable feelings come up, reflect on them and use them to grow, not to dwell. Not saying that you do, but that message is coming through. So I'm going to start wrapping up this reading now by drawing out a card from this box of cards, which are cards that I made myself. If you didn't already know, we're going to use this card to see what extra guidance there is for you. I love this card for you. Oh, actually, this card does have two sides, and I love the energy on both sides. The one that I saw first says, "Believe it, baby," which I know can come off as cringe, but the energy is still important here. There is a playful energy from the spirit realm, really encouraging you to believe again, to trust again, to allow yourself to heal that is expansive rather than restrictive. And this, like believing in it, maybe you're being encouraged here to believe in yourself, or to believe in the possibility of a dream coming true, or it's okay to give yourself permission to believe. On the other side, it says, it's time to work through your shadows and find light again. You're ready, shine again, love again. And then there's the number 222. When I say the number 2 is, you know, significant, and then the number 111. Maybe the reading 701 could be significant for somebody. The 1 is a message to trust yourself. Trust yourself if you feel guided towards working through your shadows and turning it more into light and bringing more balance. There's too much darkness in the world because of how much darkness there is within ourselves. It's this card saying you're ready kind of aligns here for me with that message about giving yourself permission. Someone here might be doubting themselves more than they should be. This love again is like tapping into that part of your inner child that didn't have to worry about, you know, people's opinions and the world's problems. You know, there's something here about returning to a more innocent side of yourself. Obviously not innocent, because you went through something challenging, or you're going through something challenging. But it's just about allowing yourself to believe again. And I feel like the message in that card really matches the scenery here. I feel like you're just really being called to embrace what you need to embrace, what changes you need to embrace to create more harmony on the inside, and ultimately in your reality and, you know, in the world and in the universe, really depending on how big you're thinking here. Like in the reading that I recorded before, it does feel like it's important to remember how important and powerful you and your choices and the way you express yourself truly is or are, or however you say that.